Hi. Hi, I'm Hadrien, and this is the 5th devlog about the creation of my investigation horror game called The Eternal. In the previous video, I started to work on different ways for the player to interact with the object of the environment, and today I want to go further on this gameplay by starting to create an inventory system. The idea is not to create a finished version of it, but a version close enough of what I've got in mind to help me soon start to prototype the investigation gameplay loop. Intro. I was about to start working on the game when I woke up and I realized that it's snowing. Yeah, it's snowing here in Bordeaux. Yeah, before to come here in Bordeaux, I was living here in Annecy, and you cannot imagine how much I miss snow. Okay, so I've just spent the morning working on a few things on the game. First, I went back into Unreal Engine to create some function to optimize all my blueprints because I worked very badly, so I wanted to be sure to have some clean code when I will have to work on Unreal for the next time. After that, I worked on gathering some image references for the inventory interface. At the start, I wanted some kind of 3D interface, like integrated into the game, but at the end, I'm not sure if this is the best idea for my game. For now, I will prototype it in 2D, and at the end, when I will be sure about what I need for the game, maybe I will do some kind of 3D interface. And the third thing I worked on this morning was starting to prototype this interface. This is very rudimentary. I didn't want it to work too much on it for now. I designed two interface, the basic one, this one, which will be used when you pause the game to see what you got into your inventory, and this one when you have a new object that you want to put into your inventory. To explain to you a bit what there is into those interface, on this one, on the top left corner, we will have the character statue information. I'm not sure about this part, maybe I will remove it, but the idea is to have some information about the health of the player. On the top right corner, we will have the character document information. The idea is that the player will find some document in the game which will be about the main character, and this will help the player to understand who is the character, what he's been through, this kind of things, and maybe I will put some clues on them, I don't know. But the biggest part of the inventory will be the lower left part that will contain all the objects for the player to interact with the environment, like keys, screwdriver, I don't know. I will see that when I will work on the puzzles. And the lower right part of the interface will contain some clues. I will talk to you a bit more about this part of the interface in the future when I will talk to you about the gameplay of the investigation part. Yeah, and the second interface, it's almost the same, just the information are not at the same place. and at the left part we'll have the current object that the player wants to put into his inventory. He will have to drag and drop it into the inventory and try to place it, because some object will take 2, 3, 4 slots at a time. So the player will have to manage his space into the inventory. So yeah, this is what I did for this morning. The next step for me will be to watch some tutorials about how to do this into Unreal. Let's go.
I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant, I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
Quickly, I decided to follow this tutorial and I faced 2 problems. First, well, I didn't saw it at the start, but the tutorial was for a multiplayer game, so I had to be careful about what node was really necessary. But the second problem was the biggest one. The code I did to interact with the objects wasn't working with the inventory system. I didn't think about it when I started working on the interaction system, so I had to go back into all my blueprints and reshape the entire code. It took me almost 1 day to do it, but at the end the code was way more logical and understandable. After that, this was the fun part. I had to adapt a bit the tutorial to create my own interface with my own needs, but most of it was working with my game. The tutorial was very well explained and I learned a lot doing it. After 5 days of work, the interface was done and here is the result.
So, here it is. Yeah, feel free to share in the comment what you think about it, if you liked it, if you have some ideas about things I could improve. This is the first time for me making this type of game, so I still have a lot to learn and I will love to implement your ideas if they fit into the game. To be honest, it was harder than I expected to. I was learning so much making this interface that almost every day after working 3 or 4 hours, I was starting to get tired and I had some big difficulties keep working on the game for the rest of the day. And that's why I decided to not implement the multi-slot system, because it felt too complicated for me to do right now, and I don't think this is the most important feature of the inventory system. And I prefer to wait for the prototyping phase to decide if this is an important feature to create or not. The next thing to work on will probably be the investigation gameplay, especially the investigation board, but I also want to make a smaller devlog about the story of the game, so be careful because a video will probably pop on the channel very soon. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video if you liked it. Yeah, and I'll see you for the next devlog. Bye.